Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Today is Sunday, 13th December 2015.
Yes, Prabhuji.
We'll first start with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddhapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Paradaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Vinamine Namacharya Padaya Nita Kripa Pradayane Gaura Katha Dhamujaya Nagara Grama Tarini. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we are in chapter 2. Today we are going to take Sloka number 46. So first we'll chant the Sloka and then we'll discuss it. Yavan artha udpane sarvata samplutodake.
Yavan artha udpane
sarvata samplutodake.
Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah.
तावान्
सर्वेषु वेदते जानतः
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
यावान् अर्थोत्पाने
पाने सर्वत्र
संप्लुतोदके
संदके
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
यावान्
उद्पाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
संदके
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु
वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
रश्मि माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।
यावान् अर्थ उदपाने सर्वथा संप्लुतोदके
यावान् अर्थ उदपाने
सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः। मायां प्रभु।
यावानर्थ उद्पाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः।
कमलिनी माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
यावानर्थ उद्पाने सर्वतः
संप्लुतोदके
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
तावान्
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु
ब्राह्मणस्य
ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
राधिका रमण प्रभु।
यावान् अर्थ उद्पाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः।
Anybody else is there online?
माधवी माताजी।
Hare Krishna. Okay.
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः।
Anybody else? Premavardhini माता जी। Hare Krishna. Premavardhini माता जी, are you there? Okay. Word by word meaning. Yavan,
यावान्
all that.
all that
Arthaha
अर्थः
is meant.
is meant.
Udapane,
Udapane
in a well of water.
in a well of water.
Sarvataha,
Sarvataha
in all respects.
in all respects.
Sampluta udake,
Samplita udake,
in a great reservoir of water.
in a
in a great reservoir of water.
Tavan,
Tavan,
similarly.
similarly,
Sarveshu,
Sarveshu,
in all.
In
in all.
Vedeshu,
Vedeshu,
Vedic literatures.
Vedic
Vedic literatures.
Brahmanasya,
Brahmanasya,
of the man who knows the Supreme Brahman.
of the man who knows the Supreme Brahman.
Vijanataha,
Vijanataha,
who is in complete knowledge.
who is in complete knowledge.
Translation. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Please repeat. All purposes served by a small well
All purposes served by a small well
can at once be served by a great reservoir of water.
can at once be served by a great reservoir of water.
Similarly,
Similarly,
all the purposes of the Vedas
all the purposes of the Vedas
can be served to one
Can be
can be served to one
who knows the purpose behind them.
who
who
knows
knows the purpose behind them.
So Lord Krishna is giving a wonderful, wonderful example. And this example is so meaningful for a devotee because just by this example, the devotee knows that if he or she is worshipping only Krishna, nobody else, if he and she is going to Krishna for all the requirements, bodily requirements, material requirements, spiritual requirements, liberation requirements, going back to Godhead requirements. All the requirements are fulfilled by Krishna. That is the purport actually of this. So Krishna is telling that you don't have to run around here and there, Previously he talked about Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Single-minded. So here it is like single goal. And when the devotee gets this assurance from Krishna, he becomes very peaceful. Of course, it takes a while to come to that level because we are so conditioned and we are so gross that easily we don't accept. We still think that no, maybe, why not I take help from somebody else also? In Bhagavatam, second canto, the whole list is given. For getting what, you should go to whom. Even that people don't know. They just, go by some hearsay. Somebody says 5 gods are there. Somebody says, I go to this and that. Like whatever is available, people rush there. And then the representatives of the god, they also come sometime. Some bona fide, some just bogus. And they tell people that, okay, if you do this, you do this anusthana, etc., etc. You will get this, you will get that, wear this, wear that. That's so many things. But Krishna is saying, everything, what a small well can do, definitely a reservoir can do. You can get the same from the reservoir, big reservoir, like a lake, ocean, something. Interestingly, there is one saying in Hindi, हाथी के पाँव में सबका पाँव. Like, if you take the footprint of an elephant, so big. So all the small footprints of different animals, they get covered by that, right? So you won't even notice. So same way, I mean, of course, in a little different context, but still for our understanding, that also, I use that many times. Sometimes people, when they are trying to do small little things, or they say, there's another saying which says that, 100 sonar ki, 1 lohar ki. The goldsmith, he hits small like that for handling the gold. But then the iron smithy man comes, and he just has one big hammer. One shot is bigger than those small 100 shots. So there's so many examples. But interestingly, the commentaries are so wonderful today. I was just, going over and over again and again over them. So let's see. Because we are still, we are too small to explain this. But with the help of Acharyas, we'll understand this perfectly. I think after today's class, I hope that there is no doubt in the devotees' minds about Krishna's supremacy and Krishna being the one we have to go to. Don't have to go to n number of different devatas, devis, etc. So let's read them one by one. We'll take turns. Start with Kamalini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Nahi angopakrame dhamso mad dharmasyodhavanam api maya vyavastita samyan nirgunatvat anasishaha. My dear Uddhava, because I have personally established it, this process of devotional service unto me is transcendental and free from any material motivation. Certainly, a devotee never suffers even the slightest loss by adopting this process. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.29.20.
So we start with first understanding the potency of devotional service, potency of bhakti yoga. So this approaching Krishna for anything can come only by devotion, right? Only a devotee will, and that's why I said in the beginning, a devotee. Only a devotee will think like that, not everybody. So here, this Sloka from 11th canto very clearly says that Krishna is saying, he's telling Uddhava, I have established this process, personally established. So naturally, when it's personally established as Krishna, it has all the potencies. And he says, ahetuki, free from any material motivation. As long as we stick to that, the results will be very high. But of course, as I said, where do we go for our material requirements then? Okay, so I will do bhakti for Krishna, but then for my house, I will go to this devata, that devi, like that. No, it's not like that. That's the whole meaning of all the purposes served by one reservoir, lake, or a big river, or any big thing, any big reservoir. Like even you take the city example. In every city there is a big reservoir, and then from there the water flows into small reservoirs in every house. They have somebody stores in the bucket, somebody has a small tank or something, but everything comes from a large reservoir. So let's go further. So I'd like to welcome Mayank Prabhu, who is joining us today. So I ask him to read this particular.
The glory of Bhakti Yoga being Nishkam and Nirguna is such that it goes without saying that it is without loss or sin, even if started and discontinued. Whatever purposes the well serve is the meaning of Yavana Artha Utpani. Some wells are used for cleaning the body after passing nature. Some others are used for brushing teeth. Others are used for washing clothing. Others are used for washing hair. Others are used for bathing. Others are used for drinking water.
Of course, this is from the Vedic Kala. They used to have so many wells in a village, Each well is used for only for that purpose. Of course, nowadays, even that is not available. You go there and you will see that somebody is drinking also, somebody is bathing also, somebody is, washing his hands after nature's call. And so many things are happening. But here, this used to be the system in a village, because no contamination of drinking water, no contamination, for each purpose is a different well. Of course, this is not this is not the complete, this is just the description of the wells. But before that, you saw that was the extension of what we read. The glory of Bhakti Yoga being Nishkam and Nirguna. Nishkam, no material desires. Nirguna, not attached to any of the three material modes of nature. That we saw last time. How Krishna asked Arjuna to rise above the three modes of nature. Nishtraya Gunya. So these are all the different wells. And then what happens when the reservoir comes? Krishna Mataji.
All the purposes of all at the different wells are served by a large body of water like a lake. In that one lake, one can perform all activities such as cleaning the body, and by using different wells for different purposes, one becomes tired of wandering around. That is not the case in using the lake. The outstanding quality of the lake water, however, is its sweet taste, whereas that of the well is not tasty.
This, as I was saying, this is the additional information from the Acharya, because our mind doesn't work like that. But you know that apart from lake being used for everything, the water of the lake is sweeter. There is of course, some well have good water also, but generally well water is very hard because it's combined with so many minerals and so on. And sometimes it is khara also, salty also. So everything is served by one. And very interestingly, he says that, okay, you can use different wells, but then you have to go from one well to the other well. That is like in going from one devata to other devata. So, like there are so many devatas are in charge of so many material facilities. And there are some assistant in charge, vice, like assistant manager, assistant manager. And then there are different. So like that, there is a huge variety. And it's confusing at times. As I said, at least if you really want material things to be done by different devata devis, we must read that Bhagavatam's portion where it's explained that for getting what you go where. For example, for getting strength, you worship Bhumi. Like that, there's a whole list. But the conclusion is what is here. This what we are reading here is the conclusion of those things which we will read now. Radhika Ramanuru.
Thus, whatever purposes are served by worship of all the devatas mentioned in all the Vedas are achieved by worship of the one Supreme Lord. By the person in knowledge, one who knows the Vedas, Brahmanasya, he who knows the Veda, Bharatana, is called Brahmana. One who knows the Vedas, knows the import of the Vedas.
Same thing as I said, instead of going to different devatas, you just go to Krishna. And then it will be done. And here, of course, again, additional information. Who is a Brahmana? From where the word Brahmana comes? One who knows Brahanta. Vedas are also called Brahanta. He is called Brahmana. And then what is the import of the Vedas? Meaning, what is the ultimate goal of the Vedas? Bhakti. Again, all this we will get only in a Vaishnava literature, Vaishnava commentaries. The impersonalists, they will not, they will not explain like that. They will just say Brahman. One who knows Brahman is Brahmana. And Brahman is Nirguna. Brahman is a Nirakara Brahman. And like that, they will go in that direction. And they will deny the supremacy of Krishna. That is the problem. There's no other problem. Everybody talks a similar thing, not same things, mind you. Sometimes it sounds similar. But when it comes to differentiation like this, then there is a whole different way of understanding. Shama Madhuri Mataji.
Brahma varchasa kamastu yajete Brahmana patim indram indriya kamastu praja kama prajapatim. One who desires to be absorbed in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence should worship the master of the Vedas. One who desires powerful sex should worship the heavenly king Indra. And one who desires good progeny should worship the great progenitors called the Prajapatis.
Like I was explaining, that how in second canto, and in our Bhagavatam classes, we already done that. So this is not the whole list. But this just give an example that, if you want to merge into Brahma Jyoti, then you should worship the master of Vedas. If you want to have power, anyway, I'm not going that direction. So for different areas, there are different devatas who are predominating or controller. But they are not the supreme controller. They are partial controller. They can do, of course, they can do a lot in the particular department. It's like, they have so many managers of different departments. Then there is a CEO, who overlooks all the ministers in a government, and there is a prime minister or the president, depending on what system they are following. So this is the one of the things, as I said, and then the conclusion is here. Anybody left out there in the group who has not spoken yet? Okay, then we'll go back to Kamalini Mataji.
Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udara dihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Pole, the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10.
Yes, so it says that, okay, here the list was there, list is completed. But now, if you want to achieve the highest goal of your life, Param, then you have to worship also Purusha Param. Purusha Param, not somebody. This is how the Vedic literature is written, compiled. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells everything about everything. All the yogas, all the systems, and then talks about the three modes of material nature, everything. But then at the end, what he says? Just forget everything. Just forget and surrender to me. So same way here. Okay, you can go here, you can go there, you can go there, but then everything is available here, Like I was an industrialist, so I know how it works. You have to go to so many agencies for getting excise and sales tax and income tax and this and that, this license and that. But then the government thought of all that, and then they come out with a single window agency. You go to one window, one group, and they take care of everything. Of course, that's idealistic situation never happens. But here it definitely happens because this is not controlled by some material people. This is under the control of the Supreme Personality of God. Bhagavan Swayam. So very powerful, right? It just helps us keeping our focus. Mayank Prabhu.
Just as sunshine, unmixed with cloud or other obstruction, in instance, bhakti yoga unmixed with jnana, karma or other pollutants, intense. Tivrena bhakti yogena, one attains fulfillment of many desires by worshipping many devtas. This requires many types of mental concentration. But one can attain all those desires from the one Supreme Lord, from just one portion of the one concentration on the one Lord. One should understand that this concentration on one personality in attaining many goals arises from the spiritual nature of the object of concentration.
So this concentration is different from the material concentration. For material concentration, there are so many camps being held, with workshops, retreats. They teach you how to concentrate. But concentrate on what? That they miss. Even in dhyana yoga, meditation camps and so on, everything is fine. Process is fine, but the goal is missing. What is the goal of your yoga? That's where the problem starts. They just take some, for meditation, they will have some bright light or, some egg-shaped thing or something, or shunya or something. Even there, Bhagavatam describes and guides how to do, even Bhagavad Gita has that. How to meditate on what? And it says that you have to meditate on the four-handed form of Krishna, Narayana form of Krishna. So same way, here, if you focus on one, concentrate means focus, right? So focus on Krishna, bring Krishna in your life. Let him be the center of everything. And then automatically you become peaceful. Not that problems will not come. When you are in the material world, problems will be there. Padam, padam, yata vipadam. Every step there is a problem. But then when you are depending, like a small child, when he starts walking, and then he falls, and then he gets up, and then he falls. Every time before, in the beginning, the father or the mother, they are there at the back. The moment he starts falling, they catch him. But after some time, he gets more confidence, and then, but even when he has the confidence, and for example, you leave him, he's running freely because, why? Because he has the confidence that somebody is there to take care, because he knows that moment he wanders or he about to fall or something, immediately there will be help available. So this is the situation with a devotee. For a devotee, he knows that Krishna is always there. That beautiful example of a person, devotee. He used to depend on Krishna. But mostly he is dependent, but sometimes you have little doubt. So when Krishna tells him once that I am so happy with you, so he says, I'll be always with you, don't worry. So this devotee says, but Krishna, how do I know that you are there? Oh, Krishna says, an intelligent person. So he says, okay, when you walk, your footprints will be there. There will be one more set of footprints. That will be mine. So you can always watch that. So he says, oh, wow, that's fantastic. But then, he's in deep trouble sometime, materially. And then he doesn't see the other set of footprints. So he complains to Krishna. Krishna asks him, how is it going? Everything is fine, Krishna, but you know what? When I was in deep trouble, I didn't see your footprints. You're not there. Krishna says, how do you know? He said, yeah, you said there will be two sets of footprints. There is only one. And Krishna said, that is mine, because I was carrying you. You are so weak and you are so horribly situated that I was carrying, so you could see only my footprints. So that is Krishna. That is Krishna's guarantee. We have to develop that faith. And that's why we are going through this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Nectar of Devotion, so on. These are all, I would say, main diet for us to become spiritually strong. Rashmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 15.15. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him.
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, we are doing this during the Adhik Mas, Purushottam Mas. Every day we are reading. The whole purpose of Vedas is to know Krishna. Of course, here the Acharya adds that to know Krishna and to know our relationship with him. Mainly Srila Prabhupada, he used to always say, we are in this trouble, we are having all this trouble because we have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. So that is called as self-realization. Not that, you merge into Brahman or, you become God, or that's not self-realization. That's an illusion. The real self-realization is to understand our constitutional position and get situated in that and serve the Lord without any reservation. And that's the purport of this Sloka also. Radhika Raman Prabhu.
Ahobata savapachoto garyam yajjiva varge vartate namatubhyam tepustepaste juhuva sansur arya brahmana uchur nama granati te yete. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literature many times after taking his birth in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7.
Again, as I said, as devotees, we appreciate this shloka, right? We just say, okay, yes, because we are one of those, we are maybe at a different level May not be Chandala, but we are something, according to the people around. But then the devotion comes, the chance of it, devotion comes by your acquired sukruti. After doing so many Vedic rituals and this and that and everything, taking many paths in the various dhams, various rivers, then you are born, even if you are born as Chandala, but you are having this facility of chanting the holy names without offense. And that makes you much, much superior than the so-called Charana thread Brahmanas, Prabhupada used to call that Charana, 4 thread Brahmana. You buy the threads for 4 those days. Maybe now some few rupees. And then use it for scratching your body or hanging the house keys and not doing any Brahmanical activity. Just doing some Shudra activities. That's much worse than being born into like Haridas Thakur, born in a Muslim family, but then we call him now Namacharya. Why? Because not that, he paid some big money or something to get that votes of people or something. No. He understood the meaning of self-realization perfectly. Of course, he was fortunate to be guided by Krishna himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But still, we also have the representatives of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu around us who can guide us, who can help us, who are helping us. And that makes our job much easier. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to read all the Vedas and so on to understand what we are supposed to do. Shama Madhyamatali.
In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, and the author of the knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, when questioned by Prakashananda Saraswati in Varanasi, why are you dancing on the road and chanting? You look like a bright boy. You should be concentrating on, studying the Vedas. I can teach you. And Mahaprabhu said, my Guru Maharaj told me that I am a stupid person, foolish person, so you don't bother about Vedas and all that. You just simply dance and chant. So I am following his order and I am feeling great joy in that. This Krishna himself saying that. So, Veda Anta means end. That means what is the final conclusion? Like one Prabhu always says that the final conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is chant Hare Krishna and be happy. It sounds so simple, but it has a deep purport. You just think, the more you think about it, the more you will get the answer. Perfect answer. So you can see there is a variety of commentaries, various angles for the same thing. Kamalini Mataji.
Therefore, the rewards available to those who act with spiritual intelligence are not accessible to those who are seekers of fruitive desires. Similarly, whatever rewards are given in the Vedic scriptures are easily available to one established in spiritual intelligence of Brahmana or the ultimate of Brahman or the ultimate truth, because in such a state of consciousness, all benefits are inclusive. Therefore, one who knows the science of Brahman is known as Brahmana. The word Vijantaha, meaning one who is complete in knowledge, receives the reward of knowing the ultimate truth.
So ultimate truth is the key. And for different classes of people, different societies, the ultimate truth is different. Like somebody says, Brahman, or Krishna, Rama, Vishnu, everybody comes from Brahman. And then we as devotees, we say that, oh, Brahman is nothing but effulgence of Krishna. So Krishna is the original, Adi Purusham. Before him there was nothing. So when there is nothing, Brahman is included in that. So this is how we have to get established in a proper parampara, so that, and ultimately where is the benefit? Okay, let's say that I want to follow that path and I want to follow this path. So where is the ultimate pleasure? Like one Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj from Bombay. He used to say, he said, suppose you are given a choice. People say Krishna means dark, black. Black means dark. Dark means, no light. So he's Nirakara, Nirguna, the God is like that. He says, okay, this is one option. Other is, Krishna is the most beautiful, most knowledgeable, most everything. And he is there in his personal form in a temple as Archa Vigraha, beautifully dressed, looking gorgeous with his consort Radharani. And the whole decoration and whole lighting and everything, and then they give this grand arati. And then you dance and chant and So which is an option which is more attractive? He used to always ask. Thinking of something dark, unknown, unreachable, or something very, very pleasant, something very, very gorgeous. Immediately, the moment you see, you say, yes, he is Divyam, he is not from this place. He cannot be from this place. And he is worshipable, he is accepting our worship. All those factors come. And invariably, I remember, whenever you ask the audience, so what do you think? Some will not raise their hand because, they're still having their doubts. But most of the audience will say, we want this wonderful form of Krishna. Ultimate truth. I told you the story about the Iranians, how they were shown the ultimate truth when they wanted to see that. Okay. Mayan Prabhu.
Being the source of all creation without the assistance of anything else, complete in all attributes, the Supreme Lord Krishna is known as the reservoir or shelter of all. Reservoir can also mean body of water, and at the time of universal dissolution, the Supreme Lord assumes the very nature of water on all sides, enveloping all.
So here it is, Samplutodake is explained. Complete. Reservoir means it has everything. Of course, water, even if you take water, he says, at dissolution also only there is water. We saw, in Bhagavatam, we are reading how Brahmaji saw this water and the wind, in the beginning. Everything was underwater. The Lord was also lying on the water. So that's the reservoir. But he says here, reservoir also means shelter of all. Complete in all attributes, like I was telling, Shada Aishwarya. Complete. Not only the most, but also complete. So he's all enveloping, like he doesn't leave anybody out. He doesn't say only Hindus, he doesn't say only this or that or only, That's why in Brahma Samhita, it says, from the ant to Lord Brahma, everybody is under this same situation. And unless they understand, they'll always have this problem. Okay. Rashmi Mataji.
One should follow that portion of the Vedas to perform activities that are most pleasing to Lord Krishna, which is in the best interest of all beings. It is not that one must just adopt everything that is said in the Vedas. One should never do activities against the injunctions of the Vedic scriptures, but according to qualification and circumstances, one must follow what is prescribed in the Vedas. For example, certain rituals such as the Agnihotra are prescribed to be performed in the Vedas, but they are prescribed for the married householders. They are not to be performed by sannyasis.
So this is a practical instruction. Yes, Vedas are not something we are against, because everything we have to follow the Vedic injunction. But then we have to use use the proper guidance. Like the small example is given of Agnihotra, can be done only by householders, but then because it is written in the Vedas, you start doing that, there will be a problem. Same way, certain things can be done by only brahmacharis or only sannyasis. Grahasthas cannot do it. So the point is that according to our ashrama, according to our what has been prescribed, the goal should be again to please Krishna. Perform activities that are pleasing to Krishna. Don't blindly follow the Vedas. That's what Krishna tells Arjuna also, right? Don't follow blindly. Just because, so he says, first of all, you get out of this chakkar of karma kanda, papa and punya. Because that's where we get stuck. And so we don't see the real point of performing devotional service. We just think that, oh, this is all for, like sukha sampati ghar aave, kashta mite tanaka. That's what we want. Everybody, that's why those artis are more popular, because it's saying sukha sampati. And we are saying, no, we are not saying sukha sampati ghar aave, etc. We are just saying, Krishna, please give us more and more service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Radharani, oh Krishna, oh Rama, please engage me in your service. That's our prayer. The devotee is not saying Sukha Sampati Garave and things like that, because it's already included. As I said in the beginning, this is all included when even if we want that for a bona fide service, like you want to have Lakshmi to serve Krishna more. That's a bona fide desire. And Krishna will provide. Why he will not provide? So, I hope you got this very focused message today. And I would like to stop here. If you have any question, comment, we can take it up. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
If Krishna can give us the ultimate, taking us back to Godhead, these material things, small things are just nothing for him. If we so wish, so we should think that he is ultimate. You pray to him, you can get anything and everything.
Yes.
Most of the people, they don't want to follow Krishna consciousness because they think, oh, if you go to Krishna consciousness, you will just only get mukti. That is what all these people are doing. So we don't want that. We want some material enjoyment. So maybe Krishna cannot give that. That is how they feel. But then Krishna can give the ultimate. He can give anything. So we should have that faith that he will.
They are afraid that Krishna will take away what they have. Not that Krishna will give something. So you people have given up something. You don't do this. You don't do this. So that's why I don't want to come. Like one friend of mine, he took some small books. It's an old story, very old story, but still I remember that, he, small books, matchless gift, and like that, Raja Vidya. And after 3 days, he brings the books back and he says, please keep the books. I don't want these books. And I was just a little disappointed because he was a nice guy. What happened? He said the books are so powerful that I read. And my wife saw me reading this and she read one of the books and she said, immediately go back and give this book. I asked my wife why. He said, because you read one more book, you will leave me and go to the ashram, So she's so scared because these books are so powerful. So he said, yes, because I want some peace at home.
Oh God.
Thank you, Mother.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, anybody else has any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very nice class, Prabhuji, and very focused there that ultimate is Krishna, and there is no way going here and there. So that's nice. And so the same way, one incident happened here also, Prabhuji, in Damodar month, Prabhuji, we can, Damodar Aarti. So we go to the house, every house, and ask them that, we take a time from them. And that this time we'll come for Damodar Aarti. So the one family first agreed. And when we went there, that day, that lady called and she said, no, Mataji, please don't come to our house because we heard that Hare Krishna people, they don't, once we are into it, we are not allowed to eat non-veg and, stuff like that. So better you don't come to our house. Like that, that kind of, the people are so attached that they don't want to even understand and welcome so Krishna or in the house.
Give it up. That's all.
Yeah, they have to leave everything. That's what they have in their mind in general, people.
Right.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Mayank, Prabhu, you have to say something?
Prabhuji, it was a wonderful class. Only one small query.
Yes.
That you mentioned in Vedic scriptures, there are some prescription for the different class of different ashramas.
Yes.
So really, whether we have to do those, because so far I read there is one saying in Krishna is saying Yogachem Vyamyam. So he is fulfilling all of our desires. So really we should do that rituals.
No, that's what I'm saying. First of all, for a devotee, there are no rituals required because.
Yes, that's what.
Yeah, but in case you want, that's what he's saying, that if at all you want to do some ritual, that ritual should be helping you going nearer to Krishna. Then you can take it up. But if it is going to get you entangled in the material world, then just leave it out. That's what it means.
Then we don't want to.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So, okay then. Thank you very much. We'll stop here and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.